Ang mga pananaw at opinyon ng pag-uulat ng mag-uulat sa programang ito ay hindi ang pangunahing posisyon o pahayag ng pamumunuan ng organisasyong ito. The views and opinions expressed in this live report are those of the presenter and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the management of this organization. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to InkluRadyo Special Report. Today is Sunday, April 3, 2022. I am Carlos Miguel Kanahashi, your host for today. And together with me is Sir Mark Paulo Betita as my technical supervisor. And we're broadcasting simultaneously on InkluRadyo and to be viewed on the next day on the Hands in Inclusion Philippines YouTube channel. We shall commence our presentation in just a moment. We will be back after our commercials. Now this.
Para sa aking pamilya, para sa aking kapwa, at para sa bayan. Kahit mahirap, kahit masakit, mahal ko kayong lahat. Kahit anong mangyari, ikaw, ako, tayo. Ating isisigaw sa mundo. Inklusibong may tatak, angat buhay itatahak. Matapang pa rin tayo. Ang tropa, hindi nang iiwan. Ang senyas, isang instrumento. Ilang beses matumba, tayo'y huling baba. Luman ang ating pinagalitan. Tayo ay muling liliwan. Para sa pangarap, para sa pamilya, at para sa bayan. Tayo ang ida. Tuloy ang inclusion.
Welcome back to our special report. We shall now commence our presentation for this day. Hi everyone, good day to all of you. Here is my presentation for our special report. Today is Sunday, April 3, 2022. I am Carlos Miguel Kanahashi from Hands in Inclusion Philippines. In our presentation, we will discuss to you about spread the word inclusion. So, what is this event all about? But first, before we get to this, I have a question. Why should we stop the use of our words? And what is it? Our words is a hurtful term that remains prevalent throughout social media based in a social listening study from Kantar. The research shows that when social media users are posting about people with disabilities, 7 in every 10 of those posts are negative, and 6 in 10 contains a slur. Sa ibang salita, ang mga R words, itong salitang yan, ito ay nakakasama at nakakasakit ito sa ibang tao, sa totoo lang. Kasi, yung mga salitang yan, nakakasakit eh. At base sa mga nag-post sa social media, meron mga tao nagpo-post about PWD. May mga slur at may mga negatibong salita. Lalo na yung R word na kung saan ito ay nakakasakit sa ibang tao. Lalo na sa mga PWDs natin, di ba? Kasi we need to stop the use of our words. Kasi we need to show love, to understand, accept, and to show the value of inclusion and also to be included regardless of who you are and the way we were. Our words has been considered an insult that is used all too commonly in everyday language. Those who use the R word often do so with little regard for the pain it causes people with disabilities and the exclusion it perpetuates in our society. In 2010, former US President Barack Obama signed a law entitled Rosa's Law. This is inspired by Rosa Marcelino. This law was a key milestone to promote inclusive people first language. The essence of the spread the word inclusion is that respectful and inclusive language is essential to the movement for the dignity and humanity of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So, in other words, we need to show that we respect, we understand each other, we love, we unite, as well as to be more inclusive, ladies and gentlemen. As the world engages in an intense conversation about the importance of inclusion, the two organizations, Special Olympics and Best Buddies, urge everyone to play an active role to promote acceptance. How? To end the use of the R word. In other words, we have to do our efforts to fight against the use of R words in everyday speech, which continues to push people with intellectual disabilities to the sidelines. Spreading the R word continues to hurt people with disabilities, whether intended or not, is a form of bullying. Using the R word is the same as any slur against a minority group. Eliminating this word is a step toward respect for all. That's why in 2009, Spread the Word Inclusion engages schools, organizations, and communities throughout the world to take a stand and to help change the conversation, and also highlight the harmful effects of the use of the R word that affects millions of people with intellectual disabilities, as well as their families and the communities. And we use this campaign as part of our efforts in the fight against the use of R words, which is indeed hurtful and disrespectful to other people, including persons with disabilities. Ladies and gentlemen. And the R Word is a major campaign of Special Olympics and Best Buddies Philippines, wherein they consistently promotes. The purpose of this is to stop using the R word, and for us Filipinos, other words that mock and make fun of individuals who have intellectual, developmental disorders. Ending the R word urges everyone to pledge to stop saying the use of R words as a starting point towards creating more accepting attitudes and communities for everyone. Language affects attitudes, attitudes affect actions. And the reason why we discuss this, because as you all may know, yesterday we celebrated a very important occasion for us persons with autism and self-advocates, which is World Autism Awareness Day. That's why we urge everyone to unite as one in order to stop the use of our words, and also to show acceptance, awareness, to be included, and also to show respect, love, understanding, and unity as one, ladies and gentlemen. And that concludes our presentation. Thank you very much. Okay, so the reason why we discuss this spread the word inclusion is that words like our words, these are considered derogatory, ladies and gentlemen. That's why words, our words, ladies and gentlemen, are considered offensive and derogatory, and these words should not be used for PW, especially PWDs like us. It really hurts, to be honest. Ito ay kung saan nakakasakit at nakakasama sa ibang tao, yung mga R words. And that's why we have spread the word inclusion. Sir Mark, tanong ko sa'yo. Bakit? Bakit kailangan natin pigilan ang paggamit ng mga R words sa mga PWDs? Yung mga R words, bakit bawal yan sa mga PW, lalo na sa mga PWDs?
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Kaya po pinagbabawal po yung R-word sa ating mga PWD. Kasi po most of us is medyo sensitive po sa mga ganong bagay na hindi man po nila sinasadya, minsan pabiro po nilang sinasabi. Pero sa atin po, medyo nakakasakit po yun. Kaya po dapat po, hanggat maaari, iwasan po yung mga ganong pananalita. Yun po.
Thank you. Okay, and then also, that's why we have ways on how can we show respect to persons with disabilities. We need to show respect, love, understanding, and inclusion, and also to show unity and affection as well, especially to PWDs like us. Hanggat maaari, iwasan natin ang mga R words, yung mga masasamang salita at iba pa na nakakasakit sa mga PWDs. Hindi lamang sa akin, kundi sa ating lahat yan. At kaya natin ang laban kontra sa paggamit ng mga R words. Dapat ang mga salita natin, dapat maganda, magalang, pagkikipag-unawaan sa isa't isa, at higit sa lahat, pagmamahal. So, hanggat maaari, kailangan natin kumalang. Kailangan natin mahal. Mahalin ang isa't isa. At syempre, pagkakaisa at pagkikipagtulungan. Bilang isang inklusibong Pilipinas at isang inklusibong bansa. Para sa pagsugpo ng mga ito ay ginawa para itinataguyod ang pagtanggap at pagsasama sa mga taong may kapansanan. That's why we need to stop the use of our words because these words are deemed disrespectful and also be considered harmful to others, especially to PWDs like us. Okay, that concludes our podcast topic for today. Let us move on to our next part of the show, which will be our election 2022 updates. Our election 2022 update for today: Smartmatic fires employee behind security breach. Smartmatic has fired the employee behind the alleged security breach flagged by Jaime Marcos. Sa idamin, okay. Sa idamin, Pangarun Pangarunungan said, I think parang tinanggal na sa trabaho yung taong yun. That's my understanding. He told Smartmatic na hindi dapat mauulit ito. Wag na uulitin itong nangyari. Very unfortunate incident kasi kaliliit ng bagay at it created a lot of problems. Dapat di na mauulit ito. She said that he made the statement while he was speaking with journalists about his Thursday meeting with Smartmatic. He said, since last week, we required Smartmatic to present their side on the alleged leak of important data by one of their employees. Smartmatic informed us that we have meted the appropriate disciplinary action against the employee. The old chief said Smartmatic officials stressed that the data leak had nothing to do with the May 9, 2022 elections. He said, what was leaked were data concerning internal organization and activities. They assured us that the security of the ballot, the configured SD cards were not compromised by that leakage. The official, however, maintained that they are still waiting for the report of the National Bureau of Investigation on the incident, as this will be the basis of their next course of action. We have asked our law department to submit to us all the possible actions we will take on this breach. It's premature for us to disclose it habang inaantay namin ang report ng NBI, but soon malalaman ninyo. Read my lips. We will not allow anyone to undermine the people's confidence in our electoral system. 2 weeks ago, Amy Marcos, following an executive session, claimed that based on the Facebook post by a group called XSOX, a contractual worker of Smartmatic allowed certain group to copy the content of his work laptop. But Smartmatic believed Amy Marcos's claim, saying what their former employee did was completely unrelated to our elections and does not deserve to be called hacking. He has ordered, Panganuruan has ordered a review of Comelec's contract with Smartmatic. DICT, the Department of Information and Communications Technology, last week said it was coordinating with authorities to look into the alleged security breach. And that concludes our election 2022 updates. So, but before we go to our next part, we have a question, but we will answer this now. So, from Jeanette Nirad, the example of our words, yung salitang, una, SU, A, at iba pa. These are, and also yung salitang, yung R, yung example of our words, alam ko yata yung ito. Example of our words, sabi ni Ma'am Jeanette Dira, ladies and gentlemen, SU, A, at iba pa. Kasi itong mga R words na to, as I said earlier, ito ay kung saan nakakasakit at nakakasama sa ibang tao, lalo na sa mga PWD. So, okay, thank you. Thank you, Ma'am Jeanette, for your question. I already answered it already, actually. As I said earlier, yung mga R words, hindi ko babanggitin kasi itong mga R words na to, ito ay kung saan nakakasakit, nakakasama sa ibang tao. Sa totoo lang, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Okay, so welcome back to our session report. Sir Mark, can you flash our next part of our show, which is our get to know our candidates and our announcements, please? Thank you. Okay, our next part of the show for this day is our getting to know our candidates in the May 9, 2022 elections. Sir Mark, next slide, please. So, our featured candidate for for today is Rizalito David. He is running for Vice President in the May 9, 2022 elections. He is a perennial candidate for public office. He filed two petitions to disqualify Grace Poe and Rodrigo Duterte from the 2016 presidential elections. This was after he was declared a nuisance candidate for the same race. He also made failed bids for the Senate in 2010 and in 2013, campaigning on his experience as a legislative staff member and a political consultant. So this May 9, 2022, let's vote wisely in the elections. Next slide, please. So for our announcements, next slide, please. So as part of the continuing efforts to support our organization, we at Hands in Inclusion Philippines urge everyone to purchase our products in the Hands in Inclusion Philippines online shop. For our Hands in Inclusion Philippines online shop, one Inclusion Nation t-shirts sizes are small to triple XL with the prices of 325 to 375 pesos with the colors of white, blue, pink, red, green, yellow, mustard gold, and black. For our tote bags, it's 190 to 200 pesos with the colors of black, white, pink, blue, and yellow. So if you want to buy, kindly message Hands in Inclusion Philippines. We'll be very strict on payments. Payment first before purchase, and our mode of payment is GCash and Union Bank only. Next slide, please. The Hansen Inclusion Philippines online shop is temporarily closed for areas under Alert Level 5. It will continue to serve in areas under Alert Level 1 to 4 only. Its operating hours are from 12 midnight to 11:59 in the evening, and for full list of orders, please visit the Hansen Inclusion Philippines Facebook page or email us at hansen.inclusion@gmail.com. Next slide, please. But before, okay, so we at Hansen Inclusion, ladies and gentlemen, needs our help. This is part of our efforts to support our organization. To be honest, many of us have already been struggling with our financial problems in our organization. So, regardless, no matter what, it doesn't really matter if you want to donate is a small or large amount. You can donate using GCash and Union Bank as well. So, please help Hands on Inclusion Philippines for its fundraising project. We're aiming to raise funds in our organization. Let us have the time to rebuild to have a bigger, better, and a bolder Hands in Inclusion Philippines. Proceeds from the sales for the online shop and for your donations will go to us and Hands in Inclusion for the formality, including the SEC registration in the future, for the expenses and the financial aid of the members due to the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. So guys, for those who did this, we'll be glad you did, and thank you for your continuous generosity and for your support in advance. Next slide, please. But before we go on to our next slide, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to buy accessories from Ate Lady Jean Florese, you may message her on Elgin Accessories on Messenger, or you may contact her through WhatsApp as well. Next slide, please. So, Mark, if you have problems with your computer, if it's a laptop or desktop computer, if it's Windows and Mac. If you have problems with your Android or iOS phones and tablet, or if you want to download music, movies, and games, Sir Mark Paulo Betita is here to assist you. So how can you do this? You may message him on Mark PC Laptop Repair Services on Facebook, Mark Paulo Betita, and you may contact him at 0947 355 4759. Next slide, please. We have some events coming up for the month of April in Best Buddies Philippines. On April 8th, we'll be having a Friendship Friday, Summer Salad Sillies. On April 9th, I Can Set Healthy Boundaries. And after the Holy Week break, we'll be having Buddies Be Friends on April 22. April 23 is I Can Find Lessons in All My Experience. Says April 29 will have Buddies Be Friends. And April 30, I Can Focus and Center Myself. And this is a joint between Atma Prema Wellbeing Group and ALRES, or Alternative Learning Research School Philippines. So if you want to join these events, follow Best Buddies Philippines on Facebook and Instagram. Send them a message, and the registration form will be sent to you as well. So just a reminder, Best Buddies Philippines is a non-profit, non-denominational, and a non-political organization. We support for a clean and fair elections, and we do not endorse any political party or candidate. As members of the Best Buddies Philippines community, please refrain from endorsing a candidate during the activities of Best Buddies Philippines. In Best Buddies Philippines, make a friend, be a friend. Next slide, please. So if you are hungry, especially for your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, your merienda, or any events or occasions, then you want to order some of the foods from the Sobra Comfort Food Restaurant and the Kuya Korea Restaurant. For the Sobra Comfort Food Restaurant, the menus are for our all-day breakfast, tapa sobra, chicken tocino, corned beef brisket, homemade spam, and beef salpicao. Sizes arranged between solo to large and prices arranged between 265 pesos to 1,450 pesos. Next slide, please. For our rice trays, we have beef bulgogi, beef shawarma, beef gyudon, pork broccoli bits, pork belly burnt ends, charred chicken, and boneless fried chicken. Sizes are ranged between solo to large, and prices are ranged between 265 pesos to 1,700 pesos. Next slide, please. For our sandwiches, we have the fried chicken sandwiches, pulled pro sandwich, corned beef sandwich, and chicken tocino sandwich. Sizes are ranged between solo, regular, large, and box of fours. Prices are ranged between 320 pesos to 1,540 pesos. Next slide, please. For our pasta, we have mac and cheese and penne and gorgonzola. Sizes are ranged between solo to large, and prices are ranged between 290 pesos to 1,350 pesos. Next slide, please. If you want to order in the Sobra Comfort Food Restaurant, here are the steps of how you can order. Head over to the Sobra Comfort Food website, select the dishes you want to order, choose between pickup or delivery, pay conveniently to any of the safe integrated payment methods, and your order is confirmed. Expect updates via text or email. Next slide, please. If you want to crave for something Korean, then you may want to order some of the foods from the Kuya Korea restaurant. For the Kuya Korea restaurant, the menus are for the rice bowls, beef bibimbap, beef bulgogi, pork samgyup, and K-pop chicken. Prices are range between 195 to 220 pesos. For the boneless popcorn chicken, sizes are range between half to whole. Prices are range between 235 to 435 pesos with the flavors of gochu, ganjang, chicken, and K-buffalo. If you want to order there, please check the Kuya Korea website for your orders as well. Next slide, please. Lastly, follow Hands in Inclusion Philippines on our social media pages and its digital platforms as well. It will be appreciated for you guys to do this as early as now. Follow us on Facebook, Hands in Inclusion PH, InkluRadio, InkluSports, InkluNihan, InkluGaming, and the online shop. Instagram, Hands in Inclusion PH, Kumu, HNI Philippines, Twitter, HNI Pilipinas, and subscribe to the Hands in Inclusion Philippines YouTube channel. Guys, for those who did this, thank you very much. Next slide, please. Let us move on to our shoutouts and greetings. So first to Sir Mark Betita, to Jason Daligcon, and Jeanette Lira. Good afternoon to you and thank you for watching. From Sir Mark, shout out to Antropong PWD, Jason Sayuri, Lily Jean Florese, Palmera Boys, and Ana Lynn Lopez. So for our birthday celebrant, we'd like to greet happy birthday to Koji Benedicto of Best Buddies Philippines. And for me, shout outs and greetings to my family, to Hands in Inclusion Philippines, Best Buddies Philippines, Best Buddies Benilde, and other PWD organizations. Thank you very much, and as well as to my high school and college friends. To those who are celebrating their birthdays today, happy birthday and expect more birthdays to come. To those who are celebrating their anniversaries, happy anniversary as well. And also to those who are watching, it may be a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you guys are in a good mood, but if not, you will use this time to improve on your mental health and your well-being as well. To those who are watching me on InkluRadio, thank you very much as well. If you missed this episode, it will be premiered on the next day on the Hands in Inclusion Philippines YouTube channel for your viewing pleasure. Okay, so next slide, please. So, in relation to our topic, Sir Mark, can you please mute your mic, please? And then ipakita mo yung yung ating pledge, please. Okay, we will now have the time for us to pledge in relation to our topic. Sir, can you please on your mic and can you flash present this slide, please? You're on mute. You're on mute. Can you please mute? Uh, okay. So in relation to our topic, we will be going to pledge again. In this time in relation to our topic. Sir Mark, can you on your mic, please?
Okay po.
Okay. Okay. So in relation to our topic, let us have the time to recite the N the R word pledge of Special Olympics in relation to our topic. So please raise your right hand and please repeat after me. The English version, the Filipino version. I pledge and support
I pledge and support
the elimination
the elimination
of the derogatory use of
of
the
the,
R
deg-
word
of the derogatory use of the R word
from everyday speech
from everyday speech
and promote the acceptance
and promote the acceptance
and inclusion
and inclusion
of people with intellectual disabilities.
of people with intellectual disabilities.
Sir Mark, can you also do the Filipino version and I'll repeat after you?
Ah, ako po ay nangangako
Ako ay nangangako
at sumusuporta
at sumusuporta
sa pagsugpo
sa pagsugpo
ng mga mapang-insulto
ng mga mapang-insulto
at hindi naaangkop
at hindi angkop
na salita
na salita
sa pang-araw-araw
sa pang-araw-araw
na pananalita
na pananalita
at itataguyod
at itinataguyod
ang pagtanggap
ang pagtanggap
at pagsasama-sama
at pagsasama
sa mga taong may intelektuwal na kapansanan.
sa mga taong may intelektuwal na kapansanan. Thank you. So guys, as we wrap up, we will share to you our learning lesson for today. That's why this topic, ladies and gentlemen, we discuss about how should we stop the use of our words. And that's why we have spread the word inclusion, because this event helps us to raise awareness, to be more on acceptance, and also to show that
Sandali, nasa trabaho ako!
um, that we show acceptance, as well as we show that we need to give respect to PWDs like us. Ito ay ginagawa para sa atin at para sa ating lahat. So Sir Mark, hanggat maaari, ano po ang gagawin natin para maiwasan ang paggamit ng mga R words?
Kailangan po mag-ingat po tayo sa ating pananalita hanggat maaari. Watch our word. Sabi nga po sa English, panatiliin po malumanay at wag po hanggat maaari, wag po tayong mananakit. Mananakit ng damdamin ng ating kapwa. Lalo na po mga PWD dahil sensitibo po silang masyado.
At kaya natin gumalang, maging magalang, magmahal, at dapat pag-iintindihan sa isa't isa. Okay? And then later today, after this program, we'll be having as we begin our show early today, is because we have to give way to our debate, the second debate of the Commission on Election. Also, to our Muslim friends, happy Ramadan. Today is the start of Ramadan for our Muslim brothers. So, to our Muslim brothers and sisters, Ramadan Mubarak. Al-Rahim, Allahu Akbar. To our Muslim brothers, since today is the start of Ramadan. And then after this program, we will give way for the next couple of hours for the special coverage of the COMELEC second presidential debate later today to be streamed. And we'll also be cross-posting this on our InkluRadio Facebook page as well. Okay, that's a wrap for our special report for Sunday, April 3, 2022. I will be back again tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. for the Editoriyal Monday edition. On behalf of Inclusion and InkluRadyo, I'm your host, Carlos Kanahashi, and together with me is Sir Mark Paolo Betita as my technical supervisor. Awa ang Diyos, makakaraos pa tayo. Sama-sama tayong lalaban para sa pangarap, pamilya at bayan hanggang sa ating tatak para sa One Inclusion Nation. Uli, magandang hapon at pagpalain nawa tayo ng buong may kapal. May the mighty God bless us all. Ngayong ika-5 ng anibersaryo, makatotohanang inklusyon, angat buhay ang solusyon. Sa HNI, posible. Pilipinas, God first. HNI, God first. Thank you very much for watching. Have a blessed afternoon to all. Have a productive week ahead. And thank you for watching and goodbye for now. Bye-bye and thank you. Sir Mark, thank you po and see you tomorrow.